So you have on page 277 in your text um, food choices for the second and third trimesters of pregnancy, and then also for lactation. If you look at this column here, this amounts, I think this would be a good piece for you to focus on when you're thinking about your case study for pregnancy or the quiz and tests related to pregnancy. So you'll want to know that a pregnant mom in general needs about 2 servings of fruits per day, 3 servings of vegetables, 8 servings of grains, 6.5 ounces of protein, and 3 cups of milk. And that's going to allow mom to meet her nutrition needs as well as the needs of the growing child. Your text outlines specific information about carbohydrates and protein and some specific nutrients. So energy, carbohydrate, protein, and fat, we want to make sure we're getting at least 175 grams of carbohydrates from mom per day. And of those carbohydrates, we want them to be rich in fruits and vegetables and whole grains so that we can prevent or alleviate constipation. And then pre-pregnancy protein needs plus 25 grams per day. So you can utilize that information to fill out the questions in your math packet for protein needs. And then mom's going to need essential fatty acids like omega-3s. Of special interest, and we'll talk about this a little later on, is folate and vitamin B12. We need folate to prevent neural tube defects, and we need the B12 for red blood cell synthesis. Part of mom's weight gain is 150% increase in blood volume. So when we're increasing blood volume by 150%, those nutrients that are responsible for red blood cell synthesis, like vitamin B12, will be especially important. Again, this slide will help you with those questions on the math packet related to protein needs. So I said we talk more about the folate or folic acid. Neural tube defects can be prevented by adequate folate intake prior and during pregnancy. I'm just going to skip a slide here so I can show you what a neural tube defect or spinal bifida looks like. What happens is the spinal cord fails to completely close, so that spinal cord bulges out from the back, and it can cause difficulty with cognition, ambulation for that infant and as that child grows as well. So good sources of folate would be any enriched grain product that's bought in the United States. That's one of the most effective health initiatives mandated or implemented by the United States government. You know, you can get into a semester-long discussion on if the government should be meddling in our food supply, but this is really an aspect where we've seen the diagnoses of spinal bifida and neural tube defects plummet, related to these initiatives of providing fortification of folate in certain foods like orange juice and grains. If mom wants to get folate from natural sources, liver is a great option, beans and peas, avocado, and then we have our fortified folate sources. And remember, if something's fortified, it means that it was never in the product to start with. If something is enriched, it means that the nutrient was taken out during processing and then put back in after processing. So when we're looking at fortified foods, it means that this product was never a rich source of folic acid or folate. We put it in there. Two other nutrients important would be vitamin D and calcium for bones. Research shows that babies born late in summer and early fall have wider bones and are taller, and that's they're attributing that to mom's exposure to the sunlight and the conversion of vitamin D in her body.